Great, so last week we looked at creating just what are called your standard primitive objects, but there's only so much you can model with using standard primitives, and if we want to kind of model anything a bit more advanced, what we're going to need to do is to be able to go in and select the individual edges or vertices and polygons from these objects. So the way that we do that is that we're going to use this thing called the modeling toolbar up here. Now you may not see it at the moment, so there's a little button here, this little white button. So there's actually two arrows here, and it's the one on the left. And what you'll need to do is just click it once and then wait a bit, because it takes like a second or two to load up. Be careful about clicking on it twice, because what you might find is you click on it once, nothing's happening, you click on it again and it just closes straight away. So just be a bit patient, click on it once and then it should appear here. And like I say, it's the left arrow, not the one on the right here, the left one here. So once you've got that up, what you want to do is you want to click on the object that we want to kind of edit. So let's say I'm going to click on this object, and you'll see over here you've got some different choices here. Now we're only going to use the vertices, the edges, and the polygon one. We're not going to use either of these two. And what we do is we just click on them, and you'll see that our object changes a little bit. Now we've got these blue dots at the corner where any of the edges meet basically, and these are called the vertices. And what we can do is I can click on a vertice now, and using the move tool I can move that individual vertice around. I can click on more than one vertice. So if I was to let's say select all of these, I can click on all of these and then move these around, and I can use the move them around in the XYZ axis. I can also rotate them around as well, like this if I want to, and I can select them like this and so on. Now I've also got the edges, so if I click on the edges option now, I can now select individual edges, move and rotate those. I can also scale, so if I wanted to scale that down I can do that. Let's select more than one and scale those down like that. And then finally, again, I'm not going to look at these two, so we'll go straight on to this one, which is the polygon selection mode, and that will allow us to select a whole face basically. And again, we can now scale this down, and I can select more than one if I want and move it around and so on. Here we go. Now once you've finished editing the edges or the vertices or the polygons, we want to return to like normal object select mode where you're working with whole objects. So at the moment, if I was to click over here, I can't actually select this object because I'm in polygon select mode and I've got this object selected, so I can only select the polygons for this object. So if I want to select one of the other objects, I need to go back into what's called object select mode, and then I can click on it. And the way that we do that is we need to click again on whatever tool is selected here. So if the vertices are selected, I will click on that again, and that will then, you'll notice that all of these are deselected, and I'm now in object select mode, and I can click on another object. And if I want to edit the vertices of this object, I'll then click on the vertices option again, and now I can go in and I can select the vertices for this object and move them around and so on. And again, to go back to object select mode, I'll simply click on this option one more time, and now I'm back in object select mode. Now just be a little bit careful, because I've had some students sometimes think that this option here is the object select mode, and it sort of looks a little bit like it, because when I do it, you'll see that the whole object is selected, and I can then move the whole object around. But it's actually, there is a difference here. So what you'll see, if I drag this whole object over here, and I go back to the proper object select mode by clicking on it again, you'll notice that the object center is all the way over here. It's no longer kind of with the object itself. We don't want that. We want the object center to remain basically with the object. So what I'll do, I'll actually drag this one back again and go back into object mode. But yeah, just be careful of that. So always make sure you don't use this one to go into object mode. You go back to the proper object mode, which is like this, and then if you want to move it around, you can do it like that.